Derek.
Hey, Trey.
Dude, you sound a little rough.
Sickness has plagued our house, but
Oh.
we're devoted to this thing.
We're sitting in the pool studio, and thank God we're outside because you're sick, the wife is sick, mom's here helping out.
Kids are fine.
Kids
right
are
now.
okay. Yeah. I'm going to stay outside.
That's
I'm gonna
fine.
Stay outside. We're pumping out episode 33 of the Beyond the Curve DMX podcast because we're going to do an episode today talking about what we're going to talk about, what happened on this weekend, next Monday. And
Yeah.
then I think we're going to take a break.
I think so.
I think so. We're going to take 34 episodes in, we will take a break. That's not bad for a first year podcast.
Yeah, because it's going to get really, really quiet after this weekend.
Yeah,
So,
it's going to get quiet. We'll have some stuff leading up. We'll try to do an every other week thing, but there's really, honestly, we don't have anything to talk about this past weekend because you and I didn't do anything. But this weekend coming up is Halloween weekend, and boy, the shenanigans at Dade City Motocross Track are going to be off.
Oh, yeah. This is we've been talking about this 2 weeks straight, but this weekend is a blast.
Yeah.
So, we'll kick our night off on Friday. We'll get up there Friday and get all set up and get the pits ready to rock and roll. Get some lights around the canopies.
Yeah, are you gonna have like some Halloween decorations?
Yeah, I got some lights and some little skeleton lights and Bowen picked out or Oakley picked out. I think they're like witch lights or something. They're spiders or something like that. And
Okay.
So yeah,
Nice.
we're gonna do it all up.
Nice. Well, I failed to make it to the Gold Cup race that I was supposed to go to because business took precedence. But I'm going to be joining you this weekend and looking forward to watching the shenanigans as a true fan of amateur motocross and Dade City Raceway because I'm going to go watch my nephew. He, as a sixth grader, has qualified for the state championships in high school for cross country. And I was supposed to go watch my nephew race in Bartow, but because of his success, he's actually going to do a team race up in North Carolina on quads. So I'm going to go watch cross country running Saturday morning, and then I'm just going to drive straight up to Dade City and party with the Schaefers
Heck yeah.
on Saturday and see what this Dade City Saturday night Halloween festivities look like.
It's best to get there early.
Yeah, so
We'll save you a spot, but you're gonna.
I'll
be tight.
I'll walk in. I got my backpack. I'm good to go, and I know you guys will have the food. And there's great concession. By the way, there's a really nice concession stand.
Oh yeah.
So, but if you're free Saturday night, come up to Dade City, watch some motocross. You're not only going to see good motocross, you're going to see a costume contest. You're going to see the big Great Pumpkin Race, which is the dumbest race in the world that they still do.
Bunch of children-sized, adult-sized children. Yeah.
Adults acting like children.
Yeah.
It's like the Isle of Man TT, only safer.
I will be in that race, so
I will not be in that race. I may video the race.
yeah.
But
You'll have to get. I'm expecting you to get some good videos. So.
But I will not be in it. But no, that's what we're talking about tonight. We're literally doing a loose show tonight. Just talking about because the only thing of major importance that happened this weekend is the last GNCC occurred.
Mm-hmm.
They crowned the champions. For God's sakes, Josh Strang. I didn't even know Josh Strang was still racing. Won the Ironman GNCC. On the bike side, Bryce Neal won. He won the championship.
Jason Lawrence came
Jason
back.
Lawrence raced. Justin Starling raced for Ampro Yamaha and actually competed well in the AA class whatever it's called, not the AA, the XC1 class. Jamie Guida competed in the 45B class, and if you don't know Jamie Guida, if you know the name Dark Side, he competed. It was a great weekend. That race has become kind of the, if you are a celebrity, let's go do this. So that was the end of the GNCC series. So race season, as far as we know, if you're on four wheels, there's still Formula One, there's still NASCAR. But if you're on motorcycles, it's off season until November.
Yeah, we have 3 races left.
Yeah.
So,
So It's just a slow weekend, and we actually, you guys, I called you to say like, hey, how was the racing? You're like, we took the weekend off, and I'm like, what? Holy shit!
Yeah.
The Schaefers didn't race this weekend.
We got a
So
lot done, but
yeah,
yeah.
so it's okay. I mean, I will tell you right now, there's a lot of on other podcasts. There's a lot of just interviews happening because there's not a lot to discuss. Um, we're gonna kind of do some ambush marketing next weekend at Dade City,
Yeah.
and just see if we can grab some interviews, get some people to talk. I think our rider may join us.
Ryland Munson will be in the house.
We can have Caleb there too.
Caleb will be in the house.
Well, we have to get them down for 5-minute interviews.
I already talked to both of them.
Okay.
So
All right.
Caleb and Ryland will be on the podcast live.
So should we tell
Saturday
Michelle
night.
that she's gonna have to piece stuff together next week?
Yeah, we'll figure it out, but we'll probably do some lives and
Okay.
everything else.
All
It'll
right.
be fun.
Michelle, you're gonna have to piece stuff together next week. So we love you. But no, I mean that's the fun thing is we're kind of in this off season. For the pros, it's an off season chance to rest, recuperate, get new teams. For the amateurs, it's the wrap up and a little fun. So and maybe a little rest and relaxation as you prep. And for you guys, there's no stress going to mini-O's. I was listening to some stuff about some of the amateur guys who are like changing teams and how mini-O's is
Yeah.
like. I'm like, oh man, like they literally just finished and they gotta like change teams.
For
so.
me, the stress is getting into mini-O's because we, like I said, we're registered as an alternate right now. We need somebody to back out in order for us to get in.
Yeah, you just
So
gotta break some legs.
that's the stress right now. But yeah,
Well,
there will be no stress getting there. That's for sure.
that's true. I mean, because once you're there,
That's
you are a self-funded team, so you're gonna have fun
yep.
and race.
That's my comfortable place is
Yeah.
at the track. So
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Someone asked me the other day, like, what do you like about racing? And I'm like, the racing, like just
being there.
being there.
Yeah.
But I want to give a shout out to my nephew. He stepped up to 4x4A because he's going to finish third in 4x4B no matter if he raced or not. Like, there was no way for him to change positions. So he went ahead and he's going to get bumped up to A. He didn't think he was going to get bumped up to A, and I'm like, you want to race? You've finished podium multiple times. The AMA, you're going to A. So I'm glad that you went ahead and stepped up, and he finished a respectable fifth. Gained a lot of ground on fourth place on the last lap. They did 5 laps on Saturday on that two-hour race. They did 5 laps. They were. I mean, the weather was good. Ironman can be up and down. The closest you and I are going to get to Ironman next year is we'll be at Indy for Supercross, or one of us will be, maybe both. But no. So GNCC, congratulations to a great season. Another. I mean, record rider turnout. Kind of like motocross, they had a record. I mean, when you're turning riders away for registration at motocross, you're having a good season.
Yep.
GNCC, man, we'll just add you to the line. It's fine. So, congratulations. Motorcycle racing is alive. Quad racing is alive. I mean, only Yamaha and Can-Am are really making quads. And amazingly, my nephew's race, 10 o'clock in the morning, 477 riders on the line at 10 o'clock in the morning. That is
wild.
Nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts. So I don't feel like we're in a bad spot here. Like, and I'm guessing this weekend, if we were to do a count of the riders and people at this race,
It's gonna.
be nuts.
Last year was insane. It was absolutely packed, and
right.
we did not have a money race last
So
year.
let's backtrack. Last year, at this race, this was kind of your introduction into the Dade City life, and you went all in. What did you do for your costume for your kids and yourself last year?
Last year, yeah, we ran a couple races at Dade City, and I heard about this Halloween costume contest, and I'm like, I've had in my mind for a long time, in the whole year leading up to Halloween, that I was going to build a space shuttle, a full moving space shuttle that my kids could sit in. So sure as shit, I built a space shuttle that my kids could sit in. We ordered them astronaut costumes with helmets, and we put them in there. I'll have to put that up on our Facebook page.
Well, I want a picture because that may be the picture of this podcast.
That's fine.
That may
And
be the picture.
we made the matching golf cart the shuttle transport.
Yeah.
To pull the shuttle that I built, and we won the costume contest last year.
And
We
that
had
included interviews with whom?
Jet Lawrence, Justin Bogle, Ronnie Renner. I don't remember who else was
Yeah.
there.
So
I think
these
it was
are
those
the
three.
these are the people that show up for this weekend.
Correct. So yeah, this weekend we were told that there will be the same and more as long as their schedules align.
But we don't want to talk about what you're doing for this year.
No, God,
No,
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 nobody's
no.
gonna know.
No, we're not telling. But
It's not
more,
as good as last year.
well, I mean, for
But-
God's sakes, you kind of like shot the wad on the first go.
Yeah, but I don't have. So last year I broke my back, and I had surgery like a month before I started this thing. Like week 2 of the surgery, I'm like, I got to do something. This is the time to build that space shuttle. Halloween's coming, so I had nothing but time on my hands.
Yeah.
So I sat there for 2 weeks straight on my hard floor after having back surgery, which led to a lot of pain pills because my God, was that not comfortable. But I got her done. We made it happen, and this year's not going to be as good, but it'll still be pretty good.
Pretty. I'm
confident.
I'm expecting still quality because
I might
I've-
still be working on it Saturday when
I've
we
seen
get
the
there.
decorations that you guys do. I've seen how you prepare food. I've watched last year's costume. So, yeah, I expect nothing less. But that being said, not only do we have this badass costume contest, we have this pumpkin race. If you want to explain it, because I remember it from years ago, but it's the dumbest adult entertainment with your clothes on that you can have.
Yeah, it's better. It's better than taking your clothes off.
How would you explain this race? I mean, in Dade City, we are throwing you some amazing press right now. So like this is good stuff.
Dade City will get tagged all over this. The Great Pumpkin Race is a bunch of clowns that should not be on dirt bikes, who may be professional, who may not be professional, but they get on dirt bikes and they grab a pumpkin. We set a whole bunch of pumpkins up, and you run to the pumpkin. One of you is on the bike. You grab a pumpkin and put it between you, and hold on to the pumpkin, take a whole lap, and then switch places.
Yeah.
And take a whole nother lap.
Yes. And some
So-
of you dumbasses start jumping doubles.
Well, that'll be me. So you will see whoever my partner may be.
It's not me. I'm not doing it.
The partners are already picked. But
Okay,
whoever the
okay.
partner may be, there may be some pretty gnarly shit done with a pumpkin in between us. And this is where the stupidity comes in. But competition is very serious.
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge.
This is a big deal.
Whoever can make it to that tabletop finish the first, it's an amazing accomplishment.
That's right. If I can get my boys some hardware this weekend, I can win a costume contest. Well, my kids can win a costume contest, but
Yeah.
the old man built it.
Yeah.
And then I can win a pumpkin race. I call that a hat trick.
Oh, that's. I mean, you go to the Hall of Fame on that stuff. That's Hall of Fame.
We will have a good podcast next week, I can promise.
But so on top of that, they always have this, and it's just a fun night, and there's still the racing and everything else. On top of that, they decided to throw in a pro race.
Yeah, money class race. Any money class race at Dade City is a phenomenal race. It's going to be the closest thing to Supercross you're going to get.
Because it's a tight track.
It's a tight track. It's a Supercross layout in a way. As Supercrossy as it can be,
Yeah.
but be amateur enough for the kids.
Yeah.
So it's a very tight technical track. It's sand. It's fun. The money class races there are tight racing, and it's not one you want to miss. I highly suggest everybody coming out. Ryland's coming down. Our rider Ryland Munson will be there for the money class race. So he's 250 East to Supercross Pro. We'll be at Dade City Racing this weekend. Caleb Groves will be racing the money class. I haven't heard a lot of other names yet, but
They'll show up.
they'll be there.
They'll show up.
Like, there's a lot of
I mean,
we often see Chiz is there.
well, it'll give him a chance to buy some cabinets.
Yeah. So I've watched him race there over the past couple years quite a few times. Trying to think who all has been there that I've watched. Tyler Bowers raced the last one, I believe. He floats around quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's quite a few of them come out and
Well, I mean, there's only some random guys that are living here now, raising their family. I don't know, Chad Reed, Josh Grant.
Yeah.
Like,
I
there's
don't
just
know if we're gonna get those kind of guys out there. I mean, you might.
they might be with the kids, having fun.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to tell. That this weekend brings in everybody.
Yeah.
So
It'll be just a. We're hoping economically that there's not, and Ryland can go out and dominate and get some cash, and that makes our bill cheaper. But I mean,
yeah,
you know,
I think I think it's going to be pretty tight. But I do think Ryland has been on top of his game in money races this
Yeah.
year. I think he's won. I can't say the number.
I got to
but
see when
he
I
has won most of the ones he's went to.
when I went to his house this week, which by the way we're going to touch on. I got to see one of those giant checks.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually cool, like to see like
Yeah,
the
they're
giant
cool.
check, and that's neat. But no, I did. I drove up, went up. I'm an old man. Some of you can see on the video. I am an old man, so for me, face to face is so much easier than on the phone.
Yeah.
And I needed to speak with Rylan about some logistics stuff. Just when do you get into town? Because guess what? You and I haven't done this before, and I kind of need to know when I need to be to a race and what time is free on Fridays and where we can go and that kind of stuff. And so, which by the way, we need another talk with Matt Bell, just because I need his help on some things. But no, sitting with Rylan, it's cool. There's this professional supercross racer, privateer. I'm in his apartment, beautiful apartment, and he's got his like kind of his glory wall, helmets, checks, qualifiers for Loretta's, different things. I'm like, that is so cool. Like, and by the way, he may be, to a fault, the nicest kid in the world.
There's absolutely no doubt.
I wanted to take him to lunch. Where do you want to go, Mr. Trey? By the way, Rylan, just start calling me Trey. The Mr. Trey makes me feel really old. For all you supercross guys out there, motocross guys, young kids, we appreciate the politeness. Just drop the Mr. And just call us by our names. We're okay with that. Mr. Trey, where would you like to go? Great lunch, great person, great human, and just loved talking about the minutia. I thought he'd be kind of like bored. And by the way, he eats nonstop. He's with Coach Rob, and
He's just a clean eater.
he ate when I got there. We were talking. He ate. We went and had lunch. He was going back to eat more, and I'm like, good God, man. And Rylan, he's like literally the size of this table. And it was fun sitting down. It's kind of like, I'm guessing now that Caleb's changed his ways, sitting down with him now is kind of going to be in the same vein. And that is fun for me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's
but no, it was great. And you're working with them on some things. Can't talk about publicly. But we had some really nice conversations about the upcoming season. We talked about cold weather and different things.
Nobody likes it.
No, especially when you're down here.
Yeah.
And we talked about training privately and versus going to one of the facilities and why some riders enjoy the solitude versus some riders enjoy the groups. But it was cool. It was really, really cool to spend the day with him. And honestly, the Florida is not a bad place in October.
No. It was cold this past week.
Yeah.
Every morning was freezing. My truck doesn't have heat right now. Dodge Ram problems. But anyway, there will be some Ryland Munson merchandise at Dade City this weekend for sale too. So
you're saying I should wear my Rylan Munson t-shirt this weekend?
Oh yeah, you got one now. That's right.
I do. I have one.
Brandon's got one too. We're all gonna have to represent.
I'll have to wear it this weekend.
Yeah. So there will be some matching shirts like ours there this weekend for sale. So come down and see us in the pits. We'd love to talk to anybody, each and every person at Dade City.
Yeah.
Stop in.
If you've ever listened to us, stop in.
Yeah.
And give us some shit.
Yeah. Let us know.
Yeah.
And come meet Rylan. It'll be fun.
What's going on in the Schaefer racing world at this point?
That's this weekend, obviously, the Dade City, and then we are racing Dade City again on Sunday
Oh, are you?
for the Triple Crown Series, the I4MX.
Okay.
So, a long night Saturday, and we're going to wake up early and race it again Sunday. And then after that, we're just going to finish out the Dade City Series this year. We'll have the banquet in December.
Now, is Dade City, are they still on the every other week? So are you, like, this weekend is a points race?
Yeah, this Saturday's a points race.
And then next week you're off?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I believe the 4th, November 4th, 3rd or 4th, and November 18th.
Okay.
And then that's it.
That's it.
So, yeah, we're racing on Bowen's birthday. His birthday's November 17th, so we're racing the day after his birthday. We'll be there on his birthday, so we're going to have a little party for him for the last race
Sweet.
while we're there. And, yeah, that'll wrap it all up. We'll go into the banquet. And
Well, we finally got news. Maybe we got it last week. I'm not sure. They all kind of flow together. Joe Shimoda went to Honda. Is that shocking to you?
no, not a bit.
You know what I'm actually shocked about? He's wearing Fox.
I'm shocked that it took that long for them to announce it.
But why? Why did it take so long?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. The logistics inside of the Supercross.
But he's wearing Fox. I'm actually shocked he's wearing Fox. I thought that he might branch off and do something different.
Fox is that'd be a sponsor that's glued to him, so they can wear whatever gear they want. Unless you're gas Troy Lee, then
I was
obviously
curious
that's a
though
conflict.
with the Japanese tie-in. I thought maybe there would be a more, and maybe I'm completely naive, which I'm going to touch on that in a second. I thought maybe there would be a more worldly brand, maybe an Alpine Star, or is Fox a worldwide? Is there a worldwide contingent for Fox?
I would imagine. I think at this point, Fox is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like when you think of motocross, you think of Fox Racing. That's the first thing that comes to mind. They have built such an empire with all this. Florida mosquitoes.
Yeah.
They've built such an empire at this point that I can't imagine that there wouldn't be a contingency everywhere with them.
I was just curious because like he's such a, I mean in Japan he's huge.
Yeah, and Fox is really good to their riders.
Yeah.
So.
And he'll have some cool stuff. I'm guessing there'll be some Japanese, the Rising Sun and that kind of stuff next year. And
I can't wait to see him ride the new CRFE.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I bet he's going to be a test dummy for it.
So, question for you. A couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, Ronnie Renner posted on Twitter, "I hate people talking about motocross that don't actually ride." And for some reason, it hit me. Who's he talking about? And I was like, I took it because you and I have this podcast now. We're trying our damnedest to get involved in the sport and do it in a legitimate way. We're coming from the backside because we haven't gotten into the industry. And if Ronnie Renner is speaking about people like us, dude, come talk to us. Sit down here, have a drink.
It wouldn't be about us. We ride.
We ride, but we're not in the professional world fully yet. But we're getting there. So I'd love to have guys like Ronnie Renner on the podcast to sit down with us and talk to us about the history. But it kind of hit me like, well, guess what? I follow IndyCar. I've never driven an IndyCar. I got some opinions on IndyCar. Why am I not allowed to talk about it?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't see anything wrong with it. Ronnie's the cool dude to actually talk to him about our podcast.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like, it kind of hit me like, ooh, who's he? What's he talking about?
See, Ronnie's a motocross guy like I am, and there is an irritation behind people that want to talk to you about dirt bikes that have no idea what they're talking about. So like I can side with him on this because I will get people. You'll get the social media where people start flapping at the gums. Well, you can't even say they're flapping at the gums or typing on a keyboard or whatever, or sitting behind a phone, and this and that about motocross, and you've never touched a bike in your life. You have no idea how hard it is to ride one. You have no idea what the training's like. You don't know what it's like to race. You know, a lot of times you get that from other sports players, like football especially. That that they have the toughest sport in the world, and that's been a topic of debate for years. And I'd say that's exactly what he's referring to, the people that like to chomp the bit. And
I was just curious because, like, I appreciate those guys. And I go back to, I really respect the guy like Jamie Guida, Dark Side. The guy literally started a podcast in Texas. They talked about Texas racing. And all of a sudden, I don't know, 5 years later, he works for Vital and went to Europe and rode gases for a couple of days because, like, that's what he's doing now. And then the only way to get involved is to get involved. And he started paying. Well, guess what? It's kind of weird. You and I are going to be paying for ourselves to go to races this year, and we're going to want to talk to those guys. And we're going to be respectful. Yeah, do we have the full knowledge? No, but I come from a racing background of, I don't know, the major motorsport series in the United States. You come from the Pro-Am side of motocross racing in the Northeast. We may not have the credentials, but we understand.
no, full-heartedly.
Like, I understand the drama and I understand the pain.
Yeah.
I understand the cost.
I live and breathe this stuff
Yeah.
still to this day,
Well,
but my whole life.
I don't race it professionally at all. But it's all I actually... It's one of the most important things in my life.
Yeah. Careful what you say.
I'll say that. It's one of the most important things in my life. And it's because of other jobs, I'm allowed to do this.
Yeah.
So, I'm not digging on Ronnie. I'm not, but that comment was like, man, there's some of us out there that are really trying to do it.
Like I said, I don't think it has anything to do with anything like this.
Yeah.
Because I share the same mindset when it comes to guys that want to down talk motocross and dirt bikes and this and that have absolutely no knowledge of even the amateur side, any of it, the riding ability in general. If you've never stepped foot on a dirt bike, then you have no idea about anything in this sport.
And it's a small world.
Yeah.
I mean, ironically, today I was leaving our office complex, which for most of you would be a shopping center.
Yep. It is. What is it?
The public shopping center.
Is that what I thought it had a name?
Yeah, it probably does. We call them
Ridge,
public shopping.
isn't it?
Ridge,
Ridge
yeah.
something. It doesn't matter.
But Lindsay C, mortgage broker, also her son Parker races. I actually pulled out right behind her, and you see this 827 number plate on the back.
That's my number plate. No, there's 732.
732. Sorry, 730. I'm sorry, 732. And I pull up beside her. She rolls down her window. We're blocking traffic. Hey, how's it going? It's such a small community.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we're in Polk County, and yeah, there's some racers. The one thing we don't want you guys to get confused is we're not the guys popping wheelies going down Del Mabry or the highway or down in Miami. We're on a track. We respect the nature. We respect people. Our bikes are on trailers. We're not yahoos.
No, there's plenty of those around here.
Yeah.
And I think four-wheelers and bikes and all that have a bad name because of stuff like that, too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, our bikes are hauled from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Never rode on pavement because we actually care about our stuff.
Well, because actually they tear up your tires when you
That's
ride
what
on
I'm
the
saying.
pavement.
We actually
Yes.
care about our
Yes.
stuff. I'm not paying $150 to change a tire every week.
But I'm going to do a quick... The growth of the sport is super important. I'm going to give a shout out to my nephew and my father, my brother-in-law. My niece is dating a guy. Graduated college, baseball player, catcher. Tough guy. He's now gotten into quads. I know it's not motorcycles. We can all have our opinions. We have a training facility at our house. Yesterday, I looked out and I heard my pole barn open. Too many people have my code. I look out, and he is out there grooming the practice track. Got a shovel. He's got the tires. He's grooming. The growth of the sport, I'm like, whatever this kid needs,
Mhm.
I'm going to help him. He took the time on a Sunday. He didn't practice. He came out, got on the other quad, started dragging, fixing stuff, and I'm like, huh, he appreciates this sport.
Mhm.
If you have a kid, I don't care if it's softball, basketball, if you have a kid that's willing to come in and do extra, if you're a business person and can afford to help that kid, go help that kid.
Mhm.
Because what's going to happen is whatever sport you're a part of, you're going to grow that sport. Like this weekend when we go to Dade City, if there's a kid that's a good kid, guess what Derek and I are going to do? Derek and I do not have the funds to help anybody else. But if we see a kid that's doing something special, we're going to reach out to that kid.
Yeah.
And we're going to figure it out.
We're probably going to talk to them right there.
Yeah. And I don't care what sport it is. Yes, this is a motocross podcast. I don't care if it's sport. I don't care if it's chess. If there's a kid that's doing extra, this kid has no need to come out to my property and clean up the riding area.
Yeah.
And he took it upon himself and came over and cleaned. I was in awe. I made sure to go out and like, dude, thank you so much. This is awesome. I appreciate it. He's like, I'd like to put in some different trails. And I'm like, we're working on that. Like to do. Whatever you want, man, we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a basketball kid or a baseball kid, if he's willing to come sweep the plates and make the lines better, those are the kids that you need to support. And I think Derek understands that. The reason we have I'm going to say a 1B, 2A rider is because you found this kid that you want to help. And we don't know how the hell we're going to do this. I don't know how we're going to do it. My wife's like, what are we doing? I don't know. We're going to make it work. Do you have anybody else in the pipeline that I need to be aware of so that I can tell Michelle when she comes home on Sunday morning?
The only rider for Beyond the Curve MX podcast right now officially is Rylan Munson.
Okay. But I don't think Rylan cares as long as he's taken care of.
Yeah, no, that's anything else is just knowledge and dedication.
Care.
Really. Yeah.
Compassion.
Like,
yeah. And honestly,
guidance. I mean, guidance is the biggest thing.
Go into that a little bit because honestly, those words of encouragement, and I want you to talk about this. Sometimes it's not the economics; it's the guidance.
It's not always money. Yeah.
No.
So the sport's extremely expensive. People will say motocross really isn't expensive, but at that level, it's very expensive. At the level that we're at, it's expensive. A lot of the Caleb, for instance, what I talked about this when he was on the podcast. What I found, you find a rider like that you see has potential. The kid was off the bike for a long time, and he's still come back and riding the way that he is. You can see the potential, but you can tell that there's something else missing. So for someone like me, I'll find that person, and you just sit down and you talk to them. So that's how the friendship with Caleb and I really started. Is he's missing. Like I said, I watched him ride over and over again. He was missing. There's a puzzle piece missing. So you sit down, you just have a conversation with these kids about what they want to do, where they want to be, how they're going to get there, that type of thing. And it just creates a bond. And for Caleb's instance, guidance was not there at all. He was out drinking every weekend, partying. He's a young kid. I mean, he's 20 years old, 21 years old, however old he is, 21, drinking age. So he's out doing his thing like a normal
kid
that age would do.
Yes.
And as we grew better as friends and mentor-mentee relationship, and Caleb now stays with us at every single race. That's what it's grown into. He's more like my kid at this point. His parents thank me for him being my other kid.
You're almost old now. I mean, you're almost. I could be his dad.
Yeah.
I actually could be his dad.
But he was missing guidance. He had no guidance whatsoever into training, eating properly, riding properly. He could go out there and he had the skills to ride whatever he wanted to ride, but he couldn't hold it together, and he was getting gassed. And you've seen it. I mean,
oh yeah. You know my opinion
Yeah.
on how this went down.
Caleb couldn't hold a three lap moto to save his life. About 2 months now, we've been at it. Caleb's really, really smooth. When we can keep the bike together, because these new Kawasaki seem to break. I'm a Kawasaki guy. I still run them. They lose bolts, and the bolts are weak, and I don't know if it's just the quality of how everything is anymore. But minus those little flaws, I mean, he's still got a couple issues as far as sometimes he'll get too far out on the front end. He'll look like Sexton when he's racing. He'll lose the front end a lot. But
Oh, so it can happen on a different
yeah,
Japanese bike?
I guess. But those are getting very minimal now, and he's just smooth and consistent. And every race that I'm at the line with him. You know, his dad's there too, but I'm at the line. I give him my tidbit of information. Sometimes it's, you better get your head out of your ass type of deal. But
do you ever say ooh, did you see her over there? If you win, you can go ask her out.
I don't. Okay. It was never like that for me for racing either. Because up at the gate, it's literally
I had a player
zoned
when I was coaching. He was a playboy, a big playboy. And there would be times we would go to matches, and he's like, "Coach, what do you think of that girl over there?" I'm like, "If you win, you can go talk to her. If you lose, you go straight to the van." You want to talk about a guy that played? He was driven by a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter which one. He was driven by a woman.
As long as there's ones there to chase.
As long as there was one to chase, he would do it. And what's funny is his success today is driven by the comfort of knowing he has a woman.
Yeah.
But as a business professional.
Some people are like that.
Yeah. But and the reason we talk about Caleb more than we actually talk about Rylan is Rylan has a program. He is driven.
Yeah.
He is. I took Rylan to lunch, and I begged him to eat something that wasn't what he should eat, and he ate what he should have eaten.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't.
He has a program. He has a drive that is internalized or created, and we don't have to worry about Rylan.
No, Rylan's dedication is why we are now together.
Yes. Caleb is a project of creating something from a piece of coal.
Yeah, like
we may get a ruby if we're lucky. We may get a diamond, but we're making a better human. That sounds arrogant.
No, he'll tell you, just in the last few months, like he said on the podcast that everything has shifted. Like he's now centralized in on what he wants, and it literally all took the guidance, and the guidance comes in many different forms, but this isn't
you telling him to go home.
Yeah, like this isn't pushed towards him in general. It's
no.
If you see any kind of athlete or anybody, sometimes words is all that it takes to change their entire mindset.
Yes. It
doesn't have to be a full-blown Coach Rob program.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, slapping somebody across the head out there, making them ride a bike nonstop, daylight to dark. It literally, for Caleb, words changed everything.
Yeah.
It was a total mindset shift that put him in his rhythm.
And to be quite honest, for you parents out there, Derek and I love the sport. I coached for 20-something years. I don't even know. I'm old now. I don't even care. I've been coaching since I graduated college at 21. I'm 51. So you can figure that out. Derek's been riding at a high level since you were knee-high to a grasshopper.
Mm-hmm.
What we have is real-life experience. Are we going to be Alden or Coach Rob or the coaches that are out there? No. But for your kid, if you're struggling, come see us. We don't want anything from you. This is not an advertisement. We will straight talk. we don't want you around because there's going to be stuff we're going to say. I'm going to drop the F-bomb and probably the S word.
Well, I'll be the first to tell you, I am not a good riding coach.
No.
Because
no, this isn't about
I know,
riding.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a riding coach.
No.
Like, I can teach my kids. I can show you how to ride.
Yeah.
Like, you watch me. But I can't. I'm the type that I don't have the teacher mentality.
This is life.
Yeah.
We're more
That's what I'm getting into.
life coaches.
I'm not a coach when it comes to that stuff. Like,
Yes.
I don't have the mentality to coach somebody, but I can talk to you.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Exactly what I'm doing with Caleb is.
And we don't want anything. We just want to help.
Yeah.
Like we don't care. Like it sounds terrible. I get in trouble all the time because I say I don't care. We don't care what your kid does. We care who your kid is.
Yeah. It's changing the generation.
Yes, and that's what the reason I went up to Jacksonville this week. It had nothing to do with racing. It was to show Rylan that I gave a damn.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I got to say this on this podcast, but we're humans. You might see us on YouTube. You see Rylan on TV. You hear all these big names. Matt Bell. You hear HBI Racing. You hear Ty Masterpool. Behind this, outside of this camera, when this thing's off, we sit and talk about everything but racing. Like, we're still human.
I was at a Rotary meeting before I came here.
Yeah, we literally...
We were talking about highway cleanups.
We may see these people that you see on TV all the time, but I can guarantee you most of the conversations aren't racing related. No. Like, we're all still human, and just being able to interact with people can, like I said, can change everything.
Yeah, and it's becoming that human. It's finding one of the greatest gifts I have is I'm an asshole.
Yeah, both of us.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Yeah, you too.
And I am really good at getting you to figure out what the hell you actually want versus what you think you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
I have changed, whether positive or negative, I have changed more college athlete careers than I probably should have. I've tried to change my daughters because it would save me a lot of damn money. But we're in it, and she's really good. I tried to change my wife's, and you know what's happened there.
And now she's running us.
We're even deeper.
Yeah.
So, we just love the process of the human. And if we don't know the information, the cool thing about what Derek and I do is we'll find the people. Mm-hmm. I have psychologists, I have psychiatrists, I have nutritionists, I have doctors, we have people. If we don't know the answer, I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm going to tell you, hey, guess what? Give me till Tuesday, and I'm going to have somebody that's going to talk to you.
Yeah.
But we want to help I do, like you said, I am not going to make your rider faster at all.
Like, I can make your rider faster.
But it's going to look sloppy.
I can, I wouldn't say that. Like, I can tell you what to do.
Yes.
I can show you on a track what to do. If you want to watch me ride and they follow me, then that's fine. I can guide you to a point, but my thing, like I said, the teaching, like, I get aggravated.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're not doing it right, then I'm going to get aggravated. I can teach a Caleb, like an older kid, 20-year-old, somebody that can actually listen. My kids, I can teach my kids, but I get aggravated.
It's better for them to have someone else talking to them about that part of it.
But an older kid that I can relate to and that I can slap you upside the head because you're not listening, then I can be a teacher. You
can coach a kid that may have ended up in a bathtub naked on a Saturday night. Yeah, I've been there. I know. Yes. I know what you're getting. Yes. But so yes. That's where Derek and I can pull you out of that. The real life portion. The young kids, we can help them the older kids who, guess what? There is nothing wrong with being one of the top riders in Florida and maybe qualifying for a national or trying to go do a supercross.
Mhm.
But let's find out if that's truly what you want versus what everybody's telling you should try.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to go work for Duke Power and be a lineman, and you get to go ride on the weekends for fun.
Yeah.
But let us talk about that. And I don't know how we got on this, but Derek and I,
We were in it now.
yeah, Derek and I, that's what we love. We love the sport, and guess what? You can do the sport so many ways. Justin Starling had an absolute blast at the GNCC this weekend. He's already working on a ride for 2024
Mm-hmm.
as a supercross rider, but he's working on a ride for 2024 because guess what? He had a blast with the people. He enjoyed the environment. Maybe you're not a supercross or motocross guy. Maybe you're an off-road guy. Maybe you're one of those guys that wants to go do an enduro. Maybe you're one of those guys that wants to go to one of those team-ass races where you ride for 24 hours at a time. Who cares? Or you want to be Andrew Short and go do rally.
Yeah.
There's something for you. One of my good friends is trying like hell to get me in race cars. But we can talk to you, and that's where Derek and I come see us. Just come talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk to us. I promise you, you'll have fun. You'll get our phone numbers. You can call us anytime. I have players that graduated in 2008 that text me in the middle of the night because they're in Europe and it's 7 o'clock in the morning there. And I get a text when I wake up in the morning that, hey, coach, what's going on? I was wondering, I'm working for Mercedes, and I was wondering what you think about this. And I'm like, oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Can I get a 350?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah. Can you ship one of them over?
I would love a Sprinter.
Yeah. No, I've been on the phone. I probably made 100 phone calls this week, and it's only what, Tuesday, Monday?
It's Monday.
Is it Monday?
It's Monday.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So the last 3 days just are behind the scenes of what's going on.
Yep.
With what we're doing.
Yep.
And I'm not afraid to talk to you. Like, I'm not afraid to help you if I can. I'm gaining nothing by
And guess
spending
what?
my time calling.
And if I can't help you, I'll tell you. I
Yeah.
can't help you. We're not God.
Mm,
We are
not by any means.
we are not the best. But we're not deeply involved in the pro side. But we actually kind of do know what the fuck we're talking about.
I literally took my wife out to dinner on Saturday. We made it out to Orlando. We did an escape room, and
Ooh, did you make it out?
we did.
Okay.
It was a blast. I've always wanted to do one. I've never done one. But that
What
point,
happens if you don't make it out?
you just lose.
Do you die?
You know what you won if you got out of this?
What?
A chance to buy a T-shirt to say that you got out.
I think,
can buy a T-shirt.
I think mine was better. I went to Whiskey Cake on Saturday for my best friend's anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
He and his wife, and we got to try bourbons.
Not bad. Well, we did a mad wine tasting before that.
Ooh.
So at Cooper's Hawk in Orlando.
Okay, so can you send that to Michelle?
Yeah, that's quite the
'Cause
place.
she wants to do a wine testing.
So well, Brand and Michelle will talk about it. She's a member. So we'll talk about this after.
But that's fine.
But
Hey,
anyway,
let's give a
yeah.
shout out. Cooper's Hawk. Where?
In Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And then I can't remember the name of the escape place, but it's something about like the escape or something in
Okay.
Orlando.
I went to Whiskey Cake in Tampa at West Shore Plaza. Unbelievable. They have the best selection of bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
My best friend, he has done the bourbon tasting in Kentucky, done all the tours. He is a bourbon connoisseur. We actually went in great restaurant, great environment, fun. So now we have a place. You need to take us, and we need to take you.
Yeah. Yeah, but what I was getting to that is while we were having dinner, we met some friends there. They live in Melbourne, and the support is vital because I told my wife, I'm like, listen, I need to call this dealership real quick for what we got going on. She's
Yep.
like, go. call them real quick and see if we can get done what we need to get done.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. And so that, like I said, having that support, and I don't mind helping you. You know, my wife doesn't mind.
Yeah.
Cutting off dinner for 10 minutes for me to make the phone call that I need to make, and
I think you and I both are in that zone.
Yeah.
We both have wives.
Don't get me wrong, they got their days where they don't want anything to do with any of this, but never mind. Leave it at that.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
But our wives, they love the journey.
They're still there every weekend.
They
so,
love the journey.
Yeah.
And I think you and I are fortunate. And this has really gone
way off topic.
But you know what? It's okay. There are people that say no one gives a shit about what you guys are. But guess what? We actually have a skill set. Give us a chance.
Yeah.
Give us a chance to use our skill set.
Well, it doesn't hurt to learn the people that you're listening to every day.
Yeah. And this is what I know it's different sport. I have been a professional coach since I was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I've done, and it's what I do. Yes, I have a different career, but even my wife will tell you, we were going to dinner, and there was a guy out practicing on the track, and she's like, why are you going out this way? And I'm like, I'm going to stop and see how he's doing. We have to go. I understand. I'm just going to check and see how. You know what that did for him? Because we stopped. Yeah. And, hey, man, how's it going? How's everything? Oh, man, it's really dry. Yeah, it is really dry. It's making you better. Those moments, I can't replicate. Because I stopped on my way. I'm dressed up. He all of a sudden, holy shit, this guy gives a damn.
Mm-hmm.
You do the same thing on a Saturday night when you work on people's bikes and.
Oh, it's constant,
But that's what. I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to pump us up, but.
No.
We're not fly by night. Yes, I'm not the motocross guy. Alden Baker is not a motocross guy. He was a road cyclist.
Yeah.
A road cyclist.
That brought a skill set to the sport.
Yes. So, please stop judging on the cover.
Yeah.
Yes, this is brought to you by DBS Custom Fabrication and Handyman Services. He's a rider, a good mechanic, a good manager. This is also brought to you by Michelle and Trey Real Estate. Guess what? We manage people. We manage contracts. Oh, contracts.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Something in the sport.
We have a woman in our midst that can read any contract.
Yeah.
It's crazy. She's mastered legalese. And for those of you who don't know, legalese is how attorneys write contracts. And guess what? We have a woman that understands legalese.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that weird that we could have a woman look at a contract and say, you might want to change this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. We don't know anything. And I think that's the part that pisses me off is we're just brushed aside.
That's all right. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're going to get there, and we're going to just keep doing it, and we're going to prove it.
Yeah.
You're going to make me freeze up my ass off in February.
Going to Detroit.
But I'm going to make you do something, and I'm going to make you do something else because I'm going to Indy. God damn it, I'm going to Indy. Because my boss owns a bar in Greencastle.
You can go to Indy.
Okay.
We'll make that work.
Okay. Fantastic. All right, but I don't know. Anything else? You got anything else?
No, I want to see everybody this weekend. That's what I'm excited for. Come out, come talk to us, come meet Rylan, come buy some merchandise, come see the decorations, check the bikes out, meet Caleb, talk to Caleb, meet Future MX. I'm sure they'll be there.
Say hi to Rylan.
Yeah. So,
but
come chat.
So Dade City Motocross. It's the Halloween extravaganza, pumpkin race, the dumbest race in the world besides the Isle of Man TT. You have a pro race, you have a costume contest, and you have the Saturday night Dade City points race going on. all on Saturday night, starting at what time? Excuse me.
3 o'clock practice, 5 o'clock racing. Gates open at 2.
Okay.
So
I will be wearing, if you see a dude, anybody wearing a Ryland Munson 38, RM 38 t-shirt,
come see us.
tap us, talk to us. We'll be there, and we look forward to it. For episode 33,
Yep.
for nothing going on, I'm looking forward to next Monday.
That's going to be exciting.
It's going to be fun.
This weekend's going to be a blast. I can't wait to see everybody there.
But thank you. I've already told you who the sponsors are. It's not even important. This is the most important thing, Beyond the Curve, the MX podcast. I will be doing an episode with MJ, his first Beyond the Curve, the MX podcast goes off-road, because we're going to discuss the Ironman.
There you go.
It'll be a 0.5 episode, so if you don't want to watch it, skip it.
Yeah.
It's fine. But it will have its own YouTube page, but it'll be on this platform on Podbean, on Apple and all that. But other than that, for Derek, I'm glad your voice got better as we went along.
It did. I drank that whole thing of liquid IV, but...
And for Trey, we want to thank you guys. Sorry we rambled on, but guess what? We're human.
Yeah,
and sometimes the shit gets too much.
Yep, just like to talk.
Yeah.
We'll see you this weekend.
Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.